Well, good morning, and welcome to the Salt Lake Center for Spiritual Living. Thanks for joining us here today, and thanks to all those tuning in. We have a great service today. We have a dear, dear friend who's come back to share a message with us. That's Reverend Nicole. Really excited to hear her talk today. And as usual, some great music. We're going to start off with a song called Jump, Jump Into Your Life. Sing along with us.
Written by Rick Charette.
Thanks, Leslie. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Sunday from the Salt Lake Center for Spiritual Living. My name is Linda Brewer, and I welcome all of you who are here with us this morning and all of you who are joining us from home as part of our virtual love streaming community. We're so glad you're with us. Our practitioner sharing a reading and prayer this morning is Teresa Martin, and our practitioner holding high watch is Katie Hernandez, right? Yeah. Katie? Yes. So I can't see her all the way back there. Throughout the service, Katie will be holding all of us in the highest consciousness and knowing that this is a special sacred time we share together. Our center is a spiritual community that teaches a philosophy for daily living based on spiritual principles and practices that are universal among religions. We honor every pathway by which people seek to know and connect with the divine, and we work on our individual consciousness so that we can help make the world a better place for all. Let's all say our purpose statement together. There we go. We are an open, welcoming community, celebrating our divinity, loving our humanity, and nurturing our journeys of spiritual discovery. Thank you. For all the latest information on what's happening at our center, and there's a lot, so please bear with me. We have extra long announcements today. You can find out there, you can contact us, submit a prayer request, read all about our speakers and guest musicians and lots more on our website, which is www.spirituallyfree.org. I want to ask everyone to please remember that we do have community members whose immunocompromised medical status prevents them from getting vaccinated. So if you are not, please respect what we've asked and wear a mask while you're here, especially when you're moving around and singing particularly. But it is so good to see faces again. There are people who haven't been here a while, and they'd come in, and I'm like, okay, I don't know who that is. I know their smile, but not their eyes. Do we have anyone with us today for the first time? If so, if you would stand or raise your hand, we would love to welcome you. Anybody? Anybody? Somebody being shy? Hi, welcome. Thank you for being here with us. And we just affirm that wherever you are in your spiritual journey, that you experience a blessing here with us this morning. Thank you for coming. And please say hello to our first-time visitor, you guys. Only not right now. Okay? Okay, so our theme for this month is the soul's call. And our speaker this morning is, I'm so excited, Reverend Nicole Merges. Her topic today is Lean into the Discomfort. I can't wait to hear what she has to share with us. Next week, we welcome back as our speaker, Rabbi Alan Bachman. Now, beginning June 23rd at 6:30 for 4 weeks, Reverend Lynn Hegster will be teaching a brand new class for us on Zoom. It's called Science of Mind and Spirit for Beginners. The class is based on a book of the same name by our national spiritual leader, Reverend Edward Vion, who has rewritten the first 4 chapters of the Science of Mind textbook in a way that you can understand it. And it's beautiful language. Those chapters are called The Thing Itself, The Way It Works, What It Does, and How to Use It. And the chapters in this class explore the nature of the divine and our relationship with it as co-creators of our lives. Please don't let the title fool you. It's not just for beginners. It's a great refresher course for anyone to better understand the fundamental philosophy of science of mind and of our center here. There's more information, including how to register, on the website. And while you're there, you can also read about the Big Sky Retreat that's happening over Labor Day weekend. Remember that early bird pricing for that ends at the end of June, so sign up. And on the weekend of July 16th through 18th, please plan to be here Saturday afternoon and most of Sunday, because that weekend we are holding our first candidating weekend to find our new senior minister. And yay, it's only been 5 years. We will be joined by Reverend John Auden and his wife Joan, and on Saturday afternoon we'll have a social for everyone. On Sunday, Reverend John will be our speaker. Then we'll do a workshop that includes lunch after the service, followed by a question and answer session. Everyone is welcome, not only welcome, but encouraged. It's a big thing to choose our new minister, so please come, experience Reverend John and Joan, and be able to let us know what you think, whether you think he's a good fit for us, okay? Next Sunday is Father's Day, and we're having a crazy or funny or weird t-shirt or whatever parade for all those who choose to participate. All who are fathers and all who ever had a father anywhere on the planet, or our Heavenly Father, as we say here in Utah. If you will not be here and you still want to participate, if you'll put that t-shirt on this afternoon, take a selfie, and send it by tomorrow to Reverend Myrna. The link's on the website, and we'll do a virtual parade to go with the real one. All right. Sunday, June 27th at 3 p.m., we're having a Love fundraiser musical concert to help pay for cancer treatments for our dear friend Lorraine Horstmanshoff. Lots of your favorite special music guests like Will Baxter and Mary Tabbs, Lorraine herself, and others that you may not know will be here. See the website for how to contribute to her care and plan to join us that afternoon. It's going to be really fun. I've included on the website a link for an amazing video that Lorraine has made talking about her cancer diagnosis and journey, which she calls her grand awakening. She is embodying that positive attitude that Reverend Claire talked about last week that helps make healing possible. So please check that out and plan to be here with us and support Lorraine. As I always do, I remind you that our center was founded on and is grounded in prayer, and that we use prayer to deal with whatever comes our way. Our professional prayer practitioners are trained in the art and science of affirmative prayer, and they stand ready to pray for you. You can submit a prayer request online. If you want to speak to a practitioner, let us know that. You can grab one if you find one here after the service today. And I will let you know that on July 11th, we will be resuming our wall of prayer during the speaker's prayer. So we're really excited about that. We met last week, and that's happening. So now I invite you to just settle into that sacred place that lives within you and allow Teresa's reading, the beautiful music, to take you and connect you to the spirit within, and then Teresa will lead us in prayer.
So going on the theme for today, lean into our discomfort, because that helps us grow. So this piece today is from Broken Open. It's an excerpt from Broken Open by Elizabeth Lesser. How difficult times can help us grow. My delusions of control were destroyed the day my son Eric died. My family fell apart. None of us knew we had been living life on the surface of a bubble until it popped. My greatest agony was having no ability to fix my family's despair. My colleagues at work desperately wanted me to put past behind me and get back in the saddle. For most of them, it had to do with their extreme discomfort at having to confront my pain. I began to devour books, searching for words of wisdom to face each day. Eric's death pitched us headlong off our daily plane of existence into the darkness, to be wrecked upon the rocks. We fought to hang on to each other. This place of hopelessness and fear is real, not a cute little allegory. Some people never leave that place and are broken on the rocks. We came to understand that although we do not have control, we do have choice. God, our Spirit, wants us to go down into those dark waters, but also wants us to come up to the light. God will not force us to do so because we are free. We are made so, and it is our great gift. We can choose darkness, fear, addiction, and despair, but we can also choose light, hope, meaning, and joy. By the grace of God, I chose life. I chose to find my way back up. It helped me visualize myself climbing out of a dark sea and back up onto the table of daily life. I began to draw pictures of tables as I attempted to communicate my deepest emotions with my family. I named each of the table's 4 legs: faith, courage, growth, and love. The leg of faith was the weakest part of my table and continues to be the focus of my path forward. Eric is always nearby. We see him in nature. Birds, butterflies, rainbows, and sunsets. But mostly, we feel him. We are, each of us, spiritual warriors. We are awake, and nothing can break our circle. But nothing will ever be the same again.
In this moment, in this place, I remember who I am, letting fear and worry fall away from me. I open my eyes and see there is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets me free. There is only when I lose myself, when it seems I've lost my way, when I go inside and quiet my mind, I can hear Spirit gently say, there is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets me free. There is only love. And I know this voice of love, it is singing through my life. It is all I am, every part of me is all that I choose to be. There is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets me free. There is only love. There is only love.
So coming into that awareness of there only being love, as I am love, all is love. Even the cares, the disturbances, frustrations, all is love as we lean into them today. So leaning into our discomfort, we feel that urge to be a light, to be better, to be whole. We feel that strength in that love to move forward into wholeness, into our power, into our oneness with the divine, in towards that light that is forever within, as we are all lights in the world. And on this day I claim for myself and all within the sound of my voice, we are whole, we are perfect in God's eyes. And as we look into each other's eyes, we see that divine light. We see that beauty, that harmony, that blessing of who they really are. So today I see all before me as a light of the divine in its myriad forms, being only love, expressing as that divinity. It expresses as who we are, who I am, who you are. It is God in expression, everything we do. So I remind myself of that in my despair and in my awakening out of my despair. So for the beauty that is in that, I give thanks. As this day we listen to the speakers and the beautiful music, and it lifts us up, it lightens our path for our week. So giving thanks for all of that, I feel truly blessed, as together we say, and so it is.
Thank you, Teresa. Teresa led a beautiful meditation this morning. Did you know we're doing that at 10 o'clock? You can actually come to the center and sit down and enjoy a meditation service before our regular Sunday service. Take advantage of that. This morning was just beautiful. Keeping with the theme of the soul's call, and today's theme, which is moving through discomfort. This song that we're going to sing together has a particular resonance with that. Some of the lyrics are, keep on moving though the waters stay raging, and sometimes in my tears I drown, but I never let it get me down. When negativity surrounds, I know someday it'll all turn around. It's a beautiful, beautiful vision. Let's sing it together. It's called One Day by Matis Yahu. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Sometimes I lay under the moon and I thank God I'm breathing. Then I pray, don't take me soon, 'cause I am here for a reason. Sometimes in my tears I drown, but I never let it get me down. So when negativity surrounds,
Thank you. It's always my pleasure to introduce our special music. I'm just in love with this little family. Mindy Dillard, her husband Craig, and two little dragon boys. They're so adorable. One thing that you may not know about Mindy Dillard, she's a wonderful teacher as well as performer. She's involved with a nonprofit organization called the Moon Day Project. And I want to read the vision statement to give you an idea of what Mindy's involved in and how proud she must be to be a part of this great organization. As Moon Day Project grows, we envision using musical learning as a conduit to create meaningful societal change. Our desire is to increase access to classes, performances, and instruments across the socioeconomic and generational spectrums. We seek to empower our participants to find their voices and gain confidence as they work with others, learning instruments and performing. That sounds great. Let's welcome back, Mindy Dillard.
Hey, thank you, Rick. And thanks, everybody. So, Rick, I think it's so special that you read that mission statement, but something kind of, I didn't know quite how to say this, but I actually don't work with them anymore. I just finished that job because I am starting some new adventures in my life. So my last day at that job was May 21st, but I'm proud of that I worked with them and got to help write that vision statement. And I definitely believe all those things you said. But yeah, I ended my job with them, and then I got to go up to Idaho 2 different times in the last month. And my wonderful dragon husband, Craig, he was like, okay, how long do you want to go? A week? Okay, because he's just a really great guy and knows that writing songs is really important for my soul to be healthy, you know? So I got to go to this songwriting retreat for a week, and I wrote 6 new songs at it, and it was so cool. So I'm going to sing you one of those that I think ties into the theme for today. I've been thinking a lot about how I've grown, how I still want to grow my soul and myself, and the things. And it was my birthday also a couple weeks ago. So, oh, thank you. Gosh. So I was thinking about birthdays, because I don't know about you all, but when my birthday comes around, sometimes I'm like, oh, it's my birthday. What do I have to show for myself? Does anybody ever feel kind of like that? But so anyway, this is called Idaho.
I want to love my mistakes, but I'm not quite yet there. How can I forgive myself? It doesn't seem fair. I am here by the Salmon River, up in Idaho, reflecting on the last 5 years, how much more I want to grow. Idaho, I'll wade in this river, worship the water that winds through your mountains. Idaho, it's almost my birthday. I want to be free of this doubt next year.
misunderstandings, I am still present here now. Idaho, I'll worship the river, wade in the water that winds through your mountains. Idaho, it's almost my birthday, I wanna be free of this doubt next year. And I wonder what it will take to see my mistakes as a plan. It's perfectly fine to take up space, just like a mountain on land. Idaho, I'll worship the river, wade in the water that winds through your mountains. Idaho, it's almost my birthday, I wanna be free of this doubt next year.
Thank you. Thank you.
So awesome. Speaking of birthdays, Rick just had one a couple days ago. Happy birthday, Rick. Thanks, Rick. I have one coming up next week. All right, back to why I'm really standing here. I am so excited that Reverend Nicole Murgis has come home. Nicole discovered our spiritual center shortly after 9/11, and within 2 weeks she was enrolled in classes, which kept her growing through her very personal spiritual journey. As a practitioner here, she began teaching Science of Mind classes. She then moved into ministerial school, and teaching was a huge part of her ministry, first here, and then she had a center, which she opened in Draper, which, lucky for us, ended up bringing Shemaine as her music director into Rick as our music director's life, and now they have the same last name. She started an online education ministry which led her to her current position as the Spiritual Development Education Manager at CSL Home Office. See what can happen here? Nicole says that while she's very grateful for the foundation in the Science of Mind principles that she learned at our center, she said that even more important to her was the love and the encouragement and support from folks in our community that kept her lifted in consciousness so that she could live and work in her areas of passion and expertise. She still considers this her spiritual home, and we are so happy to have her back home. Please welcome Reverend Nicole Murgis.
It is really, truly a gift to be back home. I found myself tearing up in the beginning of the service, hearing the music of Rick and seeing people who I took my very first foundations class with and those who I've actually taught foundations to. I see them waving. Maybe you're here with me, maybe you're here online, and I'm just so grateful. There's just such this wonderful feeling to be home. Because it was truly this center, when I stepped into it almost 20 years ago, that I heard my soul's call. I heard that call from the very first time I was in the back crying because I was hearing the truth. I heard this voice that said, "You're going to be a minister." And I thought, no, not me. Must be the person behind me or next to me. But it surely is not me. And so here I am today speaking on this month's theme, the soul's call. And what I really think the soul's call is that thing that pulls us forward into a greater realization of who we are. That thing that when we answer it, we know who we more fully are, not only in relationship to ourselves, but in relationship to others. And so I know that even though our soul's call is as unique as our fingerprint, I know that when we answer the call, we each come to the same realization, that you and I are one, that God and I are one, that you and God are one, that we are one with the entire universe. That's truly when we answer our soul's call, we come to that realization. However, you know that answering the soul's call, being on a spiritual journey, it isn't all peace and love. It isn't all love and light or joy and laughter, as one might expect. When we answer our soul's call, sometimes we have to go through the discomfort, the pain, the yuck and the muck, to only have glimpses of the truth. But yet, when we really answer our soul's call, it is that which keeps us pulling forward. And so when we answer it, it's rewarding, it's transformative, and it's worth the struggle. But, we don't have to struggle. There is a way that we can learn and grow through peace and love, through kindness. But oftentimes we need to have that struggle, that pain, that pushes us forward into life. And the other way we don't have to struggle is that we can be comfortable, right? We can live in our comfort zone. We can manage our life so that we never have to experience that struggle. We can do things that keep us safe and secure. And our comfort zone really isn't a bad place to live. We can become masters of our world in our comfort zone and actually live a very good life. However, the comfort zone can become a very seductive and dangerous trap. Because even though we can create a very good life for ourselves, there's a part of us, that sacred part of us, that isn't quite fulfilled. Because it's that sacred part of us whose natural tendency is to continue to grow, express, and expand. But when we're living in our comfort zone, we could deny that part of ourselves, that opportunity to grow and expand. And so then that could eventually wither away and die, and we feel unfulfilled. Well, I'd like to share a story of me realizing that I was living in my comfort zone. And it comes when Linda actually extended the email invitation for me to speak here today. At first, my first thought was gratitude. I was so grateful to be able to come home. But not even a second later, I had this thought, well, I surely can't do it. I'm going to be too busy. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get back to Utah. I don't know if I have anything to say. All of these excuses came. And I took those excuses even one step further. I even started crafting an email to respectfully decline this invitation to come. And I was really trying to make the excuses sound like fact, so it wasn't my fault, right? It wasn't my fault, and I was writing this email, and those excuses were becoming flowery. I was reading them. I was like, do I believe them? I think I believe them. And I was about to hit send, and again, I hear the voice that I just talked about earlier, that one that when it speaks to you, you know you have to listen. And it said to me, before you hit send, look at the name of the talk title. And so I had the spiritual journal sitting right next to me. I opened it up and I read, lean into the discomfort. And I said, thanks, God. So my respectfully declining turned into joyously accepting. And I decided to lean in and to see what this had to offer me. You see, often leaning into the discomfort is a learning opportunity, and it takes us to a place where maybe we haven't experienced before. I'd like to share a story about two men who used to play golf together. One was a man named Cal. He was in his late teens. And the other was an older gentleman in his early 40s named Bill. And they played golf together all the time. And Bill always won. In fact, Bill had an undefeated record against Cal. But one day, Cal came and they were playing golf. And Cal said to Bill, "I'm going to become a professional golfer." And Bill's response was, "I could have done that." So Cal, he took it on himself, he got the lessons, he did what he needed to do, he worked really hard, prepared almost a whole year so he could try out and become a professional golfer. Well, tryouts came, and the very next week he played golf again with Bill. And he told Bill that, "Hey, I tried out, but I didn't make it." And Bill's response was, "Well, I could have done that." And Cal muttered under his breath, "Well, you didn't, did you?" And Bill again won that game, and Cal knew exactly what he needed to do, and he set out again to become a professional golfer. Again, perfecting his swing, getting the lessons he needed, all of that until next year's tryouts, where he tried out again. And again, he went and played with Bill the week after. And he said to Bill, "I tried out again, but I didn't make it." And Bill said to him, "Well, why don't you just give up?" And Cal said, "Because it's my dream." And Bill again won the golf game, and Cal went back and even sharpened up his practice even more. Practice, hiring new coaches, perfecting his swing and his putts, and tryouts came out again. And he met up with Bill for another golf game. And he said to Bill this time, "I made it. I'm now a professional golfer." And Bill's response to Cal was, "Well, I could have done that." But, Bill had a heart, and he said, "I should be thankful for my friend. I should congratulate him." And so he mustered up all of the love and joy he could. And in that mustering up of congratulations to Cal, he also felt a tear come to his eye. And he realized that he could have done that. Well, Cal and Bill played again. And Bill remained undefeated in his golf game against Cal. So here we have Cal, who had a soul's call, a dream and a desire to become a professional golfer. And he leaned in to the discomfort, to maybe the fear, the hard work. And after years of practice and continuing to do that, he finally achieved his dream. And Bill, on the other hand, he was clearly the better golfer. He had a better game than Cal. In fact, he could have been a professional golfer should he have chose it. But instead, as the story alludes to, Bill had a feeling of unfulfillment. A tear came to his eye when he was congratulating his friend. You see, we can all be like Cal, right? We've all overcome things in our life, an obstacle, some pain, discomfort, and we've worked through it so that we have become successful or we have felt accomplished. And yet, we can all be like Bill, where we could have, should have, would have, but didn't. Didn't take the step, didn't face the pain or the discomfort, didn't lean in and glean what was there for us. And so why is it? Why is it that we do that? Why is it that when the going gets tough, the tough get running? Why is it that when we're faced with discomfort, our first reaction is just to avoid it, to say, "No, not me, it's the guy next to me"? Well, I think it's probably because of fear. I would venture to guess that most of it is because of fear. Fear of maybe uncertainty, fear of society, fear of people, fear of the unknown, fear of feeling unsafe. Maybe it's even the fear that if you do it, you'll be wildly successful. What then? What then? Right? Your excuses would no longer hold water if you were wildly successful. You couldn't even have excuses. Gosh, and imagine that as a daily spiritual practice. Imagine just sitting there, imagining your life without excuses. What would your life look like? Wow, that's highly, highly transformative. Highly transformative. I would have never wrote the letter or started writing the letter to decline this invitation today if I lived a life without excuses. And so there is this fear that we have. And most of our fears come from a fear of uncertainty or feeling unsafe. And we have a choice of how we want to deal with fear. We can forget everything and run, and sometimes that's a really good choice. Or we can face everything and rise. And I believe when we're experiencing discomfort or pain in our lives and we lean in, we face everything and rise. And we transform that fear into a feeling of faith and trust and knowing that everything is going to be okay. And so there is a spiritual solution to fear. And Ernest Holmes, in his radio show, This Thing Called Life, gives us a glimpse into what that solution is. He says, friends, when you and I know our relationship to this thing called life, we shall lose our feeling of doubt and insecurity. And in their place, we shall find faith and love, and we shall live successfully. So friends, when you and I know our relationship to this thing called life, we can free ourselves from any discord because we know that life is for us. So I invite you in this talk to begin to lean into those areas where you feel discomfort and pain, and know that there is something so greater than each one of us individually and collectively, that we can lean into. We can call it life, the universe, God, Buddha, whatever we call it. It is right there waiting our recognition. You see, when I lack faith of life, or when I don't trust life, I don't have confidence in living. When I don't trust life, I don't have confidence in living. And then fear can entertain me. I can entertain fear. But if I'm not trusting life, then that fear I have is actually a sense of separation of life. It's something outside of myself. It is not something within me. So if it's outside of myself, I want to just get rid of it. I want to push it away. I want to avoid it. I want to conquer it and destroy it because it is not part of me. But when we realize that we are one with life, then that which is outside of me is also within me. And so when we know that and we recognize we have fear, we can examine it and we can ask ourselves why it is there. And we can be willing to receive the message it has for us. Because truly, all fear is just ourselves facing ourselves. It is not something outside of us. It is not other people. It is not outside circumstances. It is facing our own sense of separation with the divine. In that same radio show, Ernest Holmes shares a story, and it goes like this. There was a little boy who was running a foot race. And every time he'd run around the track, the judge would notice that the little boy was talking to himself. Well, this little boy went on and won the race. And so the judge, curious, went over to the boy and congratulated him and said, "Congratulations for winning the race. But did I notice that you were talking to yourself?" And the little boy said, "Why, yes, sir, I was praying." And so the judge, inquisitive, said, "You were praying? What was your prayer?" And the little boy said, "My prayer was this: God, you lift them up and I'll put them down." So that boy knew that there was something greater than he was. And maybe he thought it was outside of himself. But when I hear the story, I hear him reaching in and leaning in to that something that is bigger than he is. That's something that he could rely on, and he could know that as he put them down, the life force within him lift him up. So I say that to all of us, that let us have a faith so big that we can know that when we put our foot down, that the life force within it can lift us up and can propel us forth into the fulfillment of our soul's call, into the fulfillment of what and who we are and who we came here to be. You see, there is a power so great, and it is within each one of us. And so let us have the trust and faith in life so that we can have the confidence of living life fully. So let's have an experience of this. Let's begin to feel like what it is to lean into the discomfort, if you're willing. And if not, you can just hold the space for others who are. So whether you're here with me or on the love stream on Facebook, I invite you to bring a discomfort into your life. It could be a physical pain, could be as simple as just saying no to somebody, or it could be deep and complex, like preparing a talk for Sunday morning. Whatever makes you feel uncomfortable, I invite you to bring it into your mind and let it either localize or be in your body for a bit. And with that discomfort in mind, begin to tighten your body. Really begin to squeeze it. Squeeze hard until you feel uncomfortable, and then squeeze harder until you feel discomfort. And continue to squeeze and squeeze and squeeze and hold and hold and hold. And now release. And as you release, lean in to that thing called life, that universal presence that is always with you. And begin to feel the sensation in your body. Is it the same? Is it different? Begin to know and listen for the divine wisdom and intelligence that maybe life has to offer you right now. And begin to know and trust that when we have discomfort and pain, we can lean in and trust life and trust all it has to offer us. So in conclusion, I invite you to go ahead and lean in and know that when the going gets tough, the tough lean in. Because when we become comfortable with our discomfort and be able to lean in, we can help others lean in and face their discomfort. We can face discomfort as a community, as a nation, and we can know and trust all that life has to offer us. So go ahead and lean in and trust life. Namaste. So let us pray. And so right here and right now, I recognize that there is something greater than each and every one of us here. And that one thing that is greater I know as life itself, as the one infinite expression of good, that one that has brought us all here into existence, into form, that one that has brought us here today to hear this message. And so I know that whatever pain, discomfort, obstacle we may be facing, that as we lean in and trust life itself, that we become a better expression of who we are, a better understanding of the truth of our own nature, and that our discomfort is transformed into something life-giving, that we continue to grow and evolve in the truth of who we are. And so I know that as we continue our spiritual journey, that whatever it has to offer us along the way, that there is life itself lifting our feet as we put it down, propelling ourselves into a greater realization of not only who we are, but who we are as a humanity, as life itself. And so in gratitude and love, and in the invitation to lean in, I bless each one of us, knowing that the law has answered this prayer individually for us. And together we say, and so it is.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I give. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
Well, last time I was here about a month ago, I had heard that the center is celebrating its 50 years as a community. That is just so amazing. I know how much this community transformed my life, and I know that I'm not the only one. And so I'm so grateful to be able to be here and say that this center has been a blessing in so many people's lives, and we couldn't have done it without you, without each and every one of you, without our contributions to this beautiful community, so that we can continue to have 50 years beyond this. So today, for our offering, I invite you to take your gift to your heart. And whether it's an offering in a physical form or an auto tithe or just your energy today, I invite you to say with me the affirmation of giving. Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I received. Filled with gratitude, I let this be, and so it is.
Let's invite Mindy Dillard back up and share some special music. Mindy Dillard.
Thank you so much for your message. So I was sitting there thinking about how it's really frustrating about those discomforts that we go through, or the times that we have to like reassess and say yes to say yes to life and what it's giving us, is that it happens so many times, right? It's not like it's just once. It's like, here's this, oh, here's this. And sometimes they're nice, they're like a few years apart, but sometimes they're just like dominoes, like one thing after another, right? I mean, am I wrong? No. But you know what I love? One of my idols right now is my 17-month-old son named Charlie, because he's really smart. He's a smart kid. He's learning a lot, but he hasn't yet learned to think about things too hard like I do all the time. And so I love to watch him, because he just goes into things, and he's confident, and sometimes he falls down and cries, but he does it fully present, and he's right there. And one of the most beautiful things that I really wanted to capture in a song on my retreat up to Idaho was the way that he dances. So that's what this song is about. It's about him dancing, because it's something that I don't think he's going to do for that much longer, and it's so beautiful because he just spins around with his arms up. That's his version of dancing. It's just spinning round and round. Okay, this is I don't know. It's kind of untitled. It's about my son Charlie dancing. Charlie spin, Charlie dance, round the room with no pants, joyful smile on his face, jumping on his little feet, scrunching up his dimpled cheeks, moving with such a clumsy grace, oh, moving with such a clumsy grace. Dance, dance, Charlie Pie, dance, dance, Charlie Pie, dance, dance, Charlie. I want to see you dance. Spin round the dirty kitchen floor, through the hallway, out the door. Toes tickle the grass in our front yard. Raise your arms up to the sky. You're spinning top, my little guy. Your light is brighter than a star. You can sing it if you want. Dance, dance, Charlie Pie. Dance, dance, Charlie Pie. Dance, dance, Charlie. I want to see you dance. Sixteen-month-old little boy, gap-toothed, blonde-haired, blue-eyed coy, spin through the sprinklers, get all wet. He likes it when I clap my hands. He spins around and around again. Don't need no complicated steps. Dance, dance, Charlie Pie. Dance, dance, Charlie Pie. Dance, dance, Charlie. I want to see you dance. Charlie spin, Charlie dance, round the room with no pants, a joyful smile on his face, jumping on his little feet, scrunching up his dimpled cheeks, moving with such a clumsy grace, oh, moving with such a clumsy grace, oh, moving with such a clumsy grace. Thank you. And thank you, Charlie, for showing me how to dance like that and live life.
Thank you, Mindy. I can just see that little boy dancing around.
Reminds me of somebody I know.
And Reverend Nicole, thank you for that beautiful message. It was just wonderful, and something I can take to heart. I'm very comfortable in my comfort zones. But you're right. Those forms eventually wither away, and then we're left with, oh, gee, that wasn't that fulfilling, was it? So the soul always pulls us forward, and it's good to listen to that. Even though, as Mindy said, it's sometimes it comes like one after the other, like dominoes. Like, really? But there's always gifts in those things. Not only for our growth, but sometimes for other people's growth. Those connections that we can feel, as we experience the oneness, the connection with others, and feel called by our soul, it can lift others up. Together we can change the world. Remember, next week, wear a silly T-shirt, and don't be afraid. Lean into that discomfort. You might end up on camera, and it might go YouTube and just get a couple million views. Who knows? And we'd gladly say thank you for that. Give some wonderful attention to the Center for Spiritual Living in Salt Lake City. Just don't be rude or crude about it, okay? We don't need that kind of attention. I invite you to stand. Let's sing together. Together we can change the world. Have a blessed week, everybody.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I believe it's not too late. Together we can change the world. Lay the puzzle pieces out. Find out what it's all about. Together we can change the world. I just got this by myself, but I'm asking for your help. Together we can change the world. Sailing past where it's been charted. Roll your sleeves up, let's get started. Together we can change the world. Together we can change the world. With our hands and with our hearts, we can dare to make a start. Together we can change the world. What if we spoke with one voice, knowing that we have a choice? Together we can change the world. I could start this by myself, but I'm asking for your help. Together we can change the world. Sailing past where it's been charted. Roll your sleeves up, let's get started. Together we can change the world. Together we can change the world. Change your mind and change your life. Set aside the fear and strife. Together we can change the world. When we open up our eyes and we start to realize, together we can change the world. I could start this by myself, but I'm asking for your help. Together we can change the world. Sailing past where it's been charted. Roll your sleeves up, let's get started. Together we can change the world. Together we can change the world. Together we can change the world. Together